Vidyalaya. So today is the third session of our Automation Vidyalaya series, and today we are going to learn about the types of workflows. So whatever the types of workflow is and how we can use that in our UiPath development. So for that, first let me introduce our speaker today. So today we have Santan Barnwal, who is currently working as a consultant in Deloitte, who will be the speaker today. And I am Vivekananda Acharji. I am working as a consultant in PwC. So I will be the moderator of this session. So before starting, just one important point. I request you all to please keep your mic mute during the session. And if you have any query, you can raise your hand anytime, or you can type your question in chat. We will address that. Or we have a Q&A session also at the end. We will address. But if you have any question, please feel free to ask. So I think without wasting any time, so let's get started. So I would like to hand over the session to our speaker. So Santan, I think you can start.
Hey, hi guys. So this is Santan, and I'm working as a consultant with Deloitte. I have total around 6 years of experience and all in UiPath. So today, thanks Vivek for this introduction. And today we are going to start with types of workflow. So before we getting started, right? So as you are attending a session from last 2 days, so if there is any question you can redirect to us, and we'll take a pause here and then we can get started from our session from today.
Yes. Yeah, guys. So if you have any question, you can ask now. Or you can raise your hand so we can ask. If you have any question,
You can unmute yourself and you can ask
also you
if
can
there
ask.
is anything. You can also keep in chat. We would be happy to reply. And keep this session interactive, right? So it's better you response, you give a or proper response. Like, were you able to install your UiPath Studio or not? Or are you facing any issue with installation or anything, any other thing related to UiPath?
So I hope everyone has installed the UiPath. Can you give thumbs up in chat if you have installed already?
No, I missed up because I didn't join yesterday.
Okay. So you don't know the process, like how to, you missed the last session, right? You're saying?
Yeah, I joined very late, so that's why.
Okay, we will help you out. That's not a problem. Yes, I think many of them has already installed.
Yeah, getting very little response. I hope like everyone is able to
Yeah,
hear us.
so everyone please give a thumbs up if you have installed, or if you're facing any issue while installing, you can tell us. I think everyone has installed.
Yeah.
So okay, I think no one has any questions. So yeah.
Good evening.
Sorry, you are breaking.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, we are unable to hear you. Could you please type your question on the chat?
Can you hear me? Can you
Yeah,
guys?
yeah, okay. Can hear you.
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah. Yes, we can hear you. Please tell. Hello.
And if you are if you are not comfortable with English, you can also ask your question in Hindi. That's not a problem.
The Bengali. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think no one has any questions, so I think you can start here.
Yeah. So just quick recap, right? So I think whatever the previous session was, it was like you were able to install UiPath Studio and you got an overview of the studio, like UI, how it is, like what all the components are in the studio, right? So we are going to show you what is the workflow, how many types of workflow, what is the use of workflow in a project or UiPath Studio. So we are going to show you that. So our today agenda will be like introduction of the workflow. Then we have types of workflow where we will be showing you what is the sequence, flow chart, and state machine. And then we have a Q&A session and quiz as well in the last of the session. Okay. So what is workflow basically? So I will just give you a real world example, right? So suppose that you want to do a drawing, right? So you need a paper, correct? And you will be putting like you will keep like draw using your pen or pencil, right? So in the same way, we have in UiPath Studio we have workflow where you will be drawing like building your blocks. Block means like for each particular activity or action, you will be putting all the activities there in the workflow, and then this you can run it, and it will be like a kind of project, right? So in the like from the definition, you can see like workflows are a small blocks of automation that can be used in many scenarios. Okay, so we have three types of workflows, which is sequence, flowchart, and a state machine. So I will just go through the sequence. So sequence is like it is a very much like easy one, and it's when we require very a small project, right? A small process, we put sequence, okay, and it's a linear process. So it means it will go from top to bottom and one by one execution. So if you see like in this screenshot, right? So this is a sequence, and we have just taken two input dialogues where it asks for some questions. Like in the first one, it will ask for name, and once you submit this input dialog, right? So then the next activity will call means the next input dialog will come, where you have to type like a college name, and then there is a master box which will show you what you have inputted in the these input dialogues, right? So I will just show you in UiPath Studio as well how the sequence looks like. Let me just reshare from the Zoom. I think I'm not sharing the screen. Let me know, Vivek, if you are able to
Yeah,
see this.
it's visible. I can see.
Okay. So when in UiPath Studio, right? So when you create a project, like suppose that we are creating a new project. So we always go ahead with the process or library or test automation or template, right? So currently for this session, we are going with the process. So this will create a blank project. We can name it anything. It will create a blank process where there will just be just like whatever the required files are for the UiPath Studio project, right? It will be automatically get created. So there will be some dependencies. Dependencies means like suppose that you want to use a word activity, like you want to automate a word application. So it will you have to install some kind of package for the word application. If you want to automate a browser, then you have to install UI automation package. So kind of this. If you want to automate a PDF application, so you have to download PDF package. So while creating this process, it will download like a few default packages, and then it will create the workspace. So it's taking little time. Meanwhile, let me open this. Meanwhile, if there is any question, you can raise your hand or you can unmute yourself.
Is that possible to tell me how?
Sorry,
Your voice is breaking. We can't hear you.
No, continue. No, I just asked, is that possible to show me how to install or on the process?
install means what? UiPath Studio.
Yeah.
Okay, I think like we are sharing the recording as well, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Divakar, so
you
you'll
can.
be having the recording. So we have just got the recording for yesterday's session and today evening only. So by night, so it will be uploaded to the same event page. So you'll be having there.
Okay. Done. Thank you.
So once we create like a new project, right? So there will be few dependency. It will already present in the project folder. So you can see there is Excel activity. So Excel activity is used for if you want to automate a particular Excel application. There is mail activity which is used for automating the mail things like you can have Outlook, you can have SMTP and all. Then we have some system testing and UI automation. UI automation is nothing but just like you want to automate a browser. So you will meet this I guess. So by default, there will be a main
Hello,
YAML.
Santan.
Yep.
Hey, just wondering if you could turn off your video camera, if just to improve a little bit the network speed, because it's breaking up a little bit, but it's sometimes I cannot understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is it good now?
Yes, I think so. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so by default, like when you start a new project, right? So by default, it will create a main.yml. So why we are saying like main.yml? Because whatever the workflow, right? When it is saved through UiPath Studio, that extension will become .xaml. So we call it a YAML file. Okay. So this is a mail.yml and it's just a blank. There is nothing in this. So if I was talking about sequence, so in this activity, so this is the project panel where you will see all the files present in this project. And then we have activities panel where you will find all the activities which you will be working on while automating the any of the process, right? So suppose that I was explaining this sequence. So I am just typing sequence to filter out, and then we have this sequence activity. So this is just like what you say a workflow, and where you will be putting all those activities which you want to automate. So suppose that I want to just create a input dialog, right? So whatever I was showing in the PPT. So this is input dialog, which means that when you run the bot, it will ask for the input from the user. So let me just give a question. Type your name. Right, and we can declare like what kind of input we will be getting. There is two options. One is text box and one is multiple choice. So this is type. So now when we are using this input dialog, right? So whatever the input user is giving, we have to save into a variable. So variable is like a kind of you can say it will store your value, right? So for creating that variable, you have to go to variables panel. You have to click here on create a variable. You can name it anything. So I was asking for type your name, so I will be naming the variable name as name, and the variable type will be a string. It can be also changed if it is a boolean, integer, or any other data type, right? And then once we created this variable, right, we have to put this in the output text box. So whatever the user will type, the result will be saved in this variable particular. Now let me take a message box. So message box is like when you run a particular bot, it will show you in a pop-up, right? Whatever the text you have written, it will show you in the pop-up. So currently I have taken a name variable, right? So once I type name, it will whatever the value present in the name variable, it will show that as a pop-up, right? So let me run this. So whatever the input dialog, right, and whatever we have written, so type your name. So you can see here, this type of your name will come. So there is one more option, dialog title. Okay, so whatever you will put here, it will show in this title bar. So now it is asking for my name. So I will type my name here. I will press click on OK. Then it will show whatever the input I have given, right? It's a Santan. So whatever the master box we have taken. So this is the master box and this is the output data. Now, if we like, I will add one more input dialog here. I will type one more question. Where do we live? I will add title as well. And let me add. Then currently what we were doing that we were taking the name, right? Now I am taking address as well. So I will create one more variable, maybe place. I named it as a place, and I will put it here. I will just remove name and I will put place. So whatever the input we will be giving, it will be saved in a place variable. Now in message box, if you want to print two variables, right, name plus place, you can just simply put plus and you can put two variables. But what we will be doing extra here is that I want to put some text as well. So suppose that I want to type like Santan lives in Kolkata, right? So I will just put some text here. So when you are putting some text, you have to put in double quotes. So I will put a space here, lives in. So what will happen that when I will input as name as Santar, so it will show as Santar lives in, and whatever the place I am inputting here, it will show here. So it will be like Santar lives in Kolkata. So let me run it. So it is asking for my name, type your name. So I will put Santar. Click on OK. Then it will ask for where do you live. I will type Kolkata. It will show like Santal lives in Kolkata. So whatever the name variable we are putting, it is coming here. The lives in is like a static text. So it will come here, and the place is a variable, so it will come. So if I change any value also, it will show that. Let me type. So in this time I will type Vivek. And then where do we live? I will type Delhi. So it is showing like a Vivek lives in Delhi, right? So this is how variable and input dialog works. Now coming back to sequence. So sequence is a kind of workflow where it goes from top to bottom. Okay, you can't just like jump from bottom to top or from one activity to another. It will always go from in a linear way. So it will execute first one, then second one, then third one, like this. So this is how the sequence looks like. I will take a pause here, and if there is any question, you can ask me, and then I will proceed for the next topic.
Yeah, I think Krishna has a question. So Krishna, can you unmute yourself and you can ask whatever your query is? So he is asking ki we can
Okay. Yeah,
create a
I
sequence.
got it. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is not a different one. So I will show you. So when I click on design a new sequence, right? So what will happen that's currently in the project, right? We have main.yml by default. Now I want like so we are working in a project, right? Just example. We are working in a project. Now I want to create more YAMLs here, right? So you have to click on design, you have to click on new, you have to click on sequence. So just type a name here. So I will just type new sequence and create. So it will create a new YAML like in this project panel. And when you see the folder structure, right? So for getting like where this folder files are saved, right? You have to just click on this folder icon, and then you can see all the your YAML. So you can see when you clicked on design new sequence, then it will create a new YAML here. And now what is difference between this sequence activity, right? So suppose that you have created a new like a YAML using this by clicking on this new, right? Now you have this blank what do you say workflow. Now suppose that you have like so many activities. You can say like 20 activities you are working on, and that is having two different set of work, right? You might need to use two sequence to just for like readability purpose, or like best way you can show to the client or like to your peers, right? So that you can like add multiple sequence, and whenever like suppose that 10 activities you can add here, 10 activities you can add here, and then you can just expand and collapse it. So it's a better readability purpose as well. So suppose that I have added a sequence here. This is a process, and I can just collapse it so that it will look like a smaller version, and then you can add one more sequence here. I hope I answered your question. If there is anything, you can ask me.
Krishna, does that answer your query? If you are there, can you confirm? Okay, I think Krishnendu has a query maybe. Hi,
Okay.
Krishnendu.
Yes,
Can you,
actually, it's not my query. It's my request to other participants. So please when are you asking any question, so please put it to everyone, because I don't know what you asking, but I know the answer. That is why it's my request to other participants. Please put question on everyone, not to single participant. Or okay,
yeah.
am I clear my point? Because the question was asked by Krishna. I know the answer, but what is the question from Krishna? I don't know.
Okay,
Got it.
actually, he
Okay.
sent this in Q&A section. Yeah,
Even is it?
not in chat. Yeah.
Okay, so from this time, so probably they may ask the question in Q&A session. It's perfect, but no issue. So our moderator or our speaker will read aloud the question as well. Okay, so this will raise your issue. Okay, but thanks for highlighting.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, no problem. Thank you.
Is there any other question, or if
Anyone
not?
else? Yeah. Have any question?
I have one question.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, why did you put the double quotes only for the leaves? Can you say that?
Okay. Yeah. So in massive box, right? So it's called concatenation. Okay. So if you in talk about a programming language, it's called concatenation. Concatenation means you have a particular variable, yeah, like two variables we have, and now we have leaves in, right? So how will the code or like a language, whatever, right? How will it understood that okay, this is a particular variable and this is not a variable. This is simple text, right? So to distinguish that, we have a double quote thing. So whatever the variable you are putting, you have to just type it here. But whatever text you want to put, you have to put it in double quote. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, I have a question. Can you repeat once again when we have to create the variables?
When we have to create a variable where?
I mean, for separate input dialog,
Mhm.
there are two input dialogues. So
Right.
for every input dialog, we have to create variables, or for
Right. It depends. It depends. Like suppose that it's just a simple process, right? So it depends. Like if you want to have like multiple input dialog and you want to have different set of values, right? You have to create a separate variables. And if you suppose that it's just in a process, I want to explain. I'm just copying the above things, right? So now we have 4 input dialogs. Okay. Now what it will do is that it will ask for the name, it will ask for the place, and it will show them in the message. Now I want to repeat same thing 2 times in this process, right? Then we will not require to create a variable. The same variable will work here as well. So I will just run it and to show here this. So it is asking for the first input dialog, which is my name. I will enter my name here. Then it will ask for the place. I will put Kolkata. Then it will show the message box where it will show Santan lives in Kolkata, right? And then we'll click on OK. Then the next input dialog will open, and it will again ask for the like name. So I am typing Vivek. I will type Delhi. So it's showing now Vivek lives in Delhi, right? So it's not like that per input box we will be requiring each variable. It's like that what is your requirement, correct?
okay.
Yeah.
And if I can't create any variable for
Mhm.
some input dialog or anything, that it will not work, right?
Right. Yeah. So what will happen is suppose that I will just remove it, right? I didn't create it. Suppose that I have not used any variable. Okay. So when we will run it, it will not take those value. Even if you are entering the particular value, right? Kolkata, it will not work in your system, like in the bot. So I have just removed for one input dialog, right? Let me, yeah, I will type Santan. Then we'll type place, Kolkata. So you can see now Kolkata will not come. Why? Because we have whatever the value it was given to this input dialog, right? There was no variable, so it didn't store those values. Like whatever the Kolkata I passed, right? It didn't store in any variable. So that's the reason you are not seeing that Kolkata here. Even if in the message box we have put it this place value, right?
Okay.
Any other question?
Yes. The variable type. If I change the scope of variable,
Mhm.
so suppose name scope is in the whole sequence. That's why you are
Mhm.
not creating a new variable. So if I
Right.
change the scope, then I have to make a new variable with a new name. Am I correct?
Correct. So if you come to a scope, like I will explain it here. So I'm just deleting it for now from these input dialogs. So we have this place. So this is how it looks like, right? Now we have a separate sequence here. Now, these are two sequences, right? So I will just copy this input dialog here, and it will give you one error. Why? Because whatever the variable name you have created, this was part of this sequence, this particular sequence. But you can't use in other sequence because the variable confines in this whatever the work sequence you are seeing, right? So now if you want to use the same variable here, you have to make it so you can't even see here. You have to click here. Then this is the name variable, and then you have to select this name sequence. Then only you can use it here. Otherwise, if you want to, let me like reset it. So it will give you an error, right? Now, if you want to use the same variable name, but you don't want to increase the whatever this scope, right? So you will need to create a new variable here. So I will just create it once. You can see there is no variable it is showing, right? Because there is no variable in this particular scope. So now you can use it and it will not show you any error. Right, I hope it answered your question. Any other question, or if not, then I'll proceed next.
Just one for the main sequence, not just these two sequences. I mean the one that is at the top of them. How can you see the variables created for this sequence?
Okay, so if I understood well, you are saying that you are in main sequence, but you want to see all the variables created.
Just in case you are inserting different activities outside these two sequences, and place them into the main sequence, how can you see the variables?
Okay, so no, you can't see the variable because those like whatever the variable it is inside this sequence, right? It's a scope which confined to this particular sequence. So if you want to see a particular variable, you have to come to in like under this sequence, particular sequence. You can't see it from outside.
If you want to create, I mean, if you want to create a variable outside these two sequences, how do you do it?
Okay, so you can, yeah, you can create it. Let me. So this is one assign activity, right? So let me create a sequence like same variable. So this is just assign activity where you can assign a particular value to a particular variable. So I have typed a name and I have typed Santan here. Okay. So I can explain this activity later. But when you now come to here, right, it will give you a warning. Warning means it will say that, okay, so there is already a variable with the same name in a particular like increase scope, right? The main sequence scope. And there is a like a same variable in the sequence as. So it will give you that warning. It will not error out, but it will give you a warning.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if no other question, then okay, I think there is some suggestion. Can you a little bit slow in the explanation? Okay, sure. And I think Apurva, you will be sharing these workflows as well, right, with the team?
Yeah, we'll be
Okay.
sharing it.
Yeah. So yeah, if you are not able to follow also, you will be getting this workflow and you can download it and use it in your system.
And I think tomorrow you can ask us like if
Right.
there's any issue. Yeah.
So now like sequence I have already covered. Now I will move to flowchart. Yeah, so this is a flowchart activity. So this is like a little bit what do you say like a complex project, right? So whenever you require like multiple decisions and you have like multiple flows, then you will need to use a flowchart. So in this screenshot you can see here that we have a sign activity, then we have an input dialog. Now from the input dialog we have a decision to take. So if the particular value is like a we have that particular value is in a particular range or not, or if it is greater than, less than, like this, right? So this decision you have to take, then you have to put a decision box here. Then again based on the decision, do you want to go to particular input or dialog again, or you want to just show the massive out? So for this type of complex scenario, you will need to use a flowchart. I will show you the flowchart in the project. So yeah, we'll go to design, we'll take a new and we'll click on this flowchart. It will create a separate channel. So you can see it created a flowchart.yaml file. Right. And now I will whatever I explained you here, right? The input dialog and all. I will use the same activities in the flowchart as well. So Now you have to like indicate this particular input dialog, because it should start like the flowchart starts with this start whatever you're saying activity, right? So it starts from here. So you have to connect this node like input dialog node to this start activity. So we have one input dialog here. We will take one more input dialog here, and then we will take a message box. We will performing same set of operation here, but in the flowchart. So I will type name. And then I will create a particular variable. Let's say. So name variable. I will take a like little pause here to if someone is doing parallelly, they can do it. So I have taken one input dialog here from this activity panel. Then double clicked on it to open this this input dialog. Then typed here name. Then the input level as what is your name, and then created a variable name called name, and typed that variable here. Then also type it here as well. Okay. Then I will repeat the same thing for the next input dialog. It is a place. Then like we are doing this, and then we'll create a new variable called place. Okay. So now we have two input dialogs, and we have a message box. So in the message box, I will do the same thing. So I will take a name variable name, then plus lives in double quote, and then plus, and then place. And let me run it. So let me type. So it will show the same message that Santa lives in Kolkata, right? Now you would ask that a question like we did the same thing in the sequence activity, then why we are doing the same thing in the project activity, right? So now it's a for complex scenario. Now what will happen that you want to take a particular decision. So you want to show the message box only if a person lives in Kolkata. And if he lives in some other location, you don't want to show a particular message box, right? So I can take a decision activity here. So this is a flow decision activity. I will drag it here. Then you have to connect this decision activity to its like a previous activity. So this is the input dialog, and this decision box should be connected to this, right? And now in this decision, I will put some condition here. Condition means let me click on this three dot button. So we have to declare a condition here. So I have a place variable, and I want to say that, okay, so if a person lives in Kolkata, so this is place I am putting as equal to, and then the text, the Kolkata. So if it is a particular text, that's the reason it's in double quote, and this is a variable, so it's not in double quote, right? So now place equal to Kolkata. So what I have to do is, okay, so if a particular person lives in Kolkata, then show the message box. So we have to connect this message box to this. So in a flow decision, right, there will be two output, you can say. One is true and one is false. So if this particular statement, which is place equal to Kolkata, is true, then we can connect it to message box. So it is like this. Now let me run it, and I will show you what will happen. So I will type my name, Santhan. Then I will type place called Delhi, right? So once I click on OK, it will not show anything and bot will stop, because we didn't do anything on the false state. We only did for the true state, right? So if I run the same code with the place name as Kolkata, then the message box will be shown. So let me type Santhan. Then you can see this message box is showing Santa lives in Kolkata, right? Now we can make it more complex, a little more complex. So we want to say that, okay, so run this bot until someone is from the Kolkata, right? So this is a false statement, and we can connect this false statement here. It means that someone like when we run the bot, it will ask for the name, it will ask for the place. If the place is not Kolkata, then again it will go to this input dialog to ask for the name. Okay, and it will ask for the place. If it's Kolkata, then it will come here and it will show the message box and bot will stop. Otherwise, it will keep running until the someone is from Kolkata. So let me run it. So I will type my name. So where do you live? I will type some random name. So it's let me type Jaipur and click on OK. So what it will do? It will it was no place was not equal to Kolkata. So that again it came to this input dialog. So you can see it is again asking for my name. So I will pass something. Then let me type other city name. Let's put the Bangalore. Right? I click on OK. Again, because it's still not Kolkata, it will again go to this particular input box. Now I will put Kolkata here. So it's my name, Santa. And then I will type Kolkata. So now it is showing this message of Santa lives in Kolkata, and then bot will stop.
How,
So we
just one question. How do you ensure this workflow does not fall into an infinite loop?
yeah, see, it depends on the process where you are working, right? So suppose that I like as you question, right, that I how do you ensure that it should not fall in the loop mode, right? Infinity loop. So we can put one more decision here. I will just show you. Now you have to decide, right? What you say infinity loop, like you want to perform 10 times this activity, right? So you can say that, okay, so I want to run this particular loop only for 10 times, right? So you have to like declare like create few activities and few counters. I can show you that as well. So let me now I want to count this number, right? How many times this is going to this particular input dialog, right? So I can take a variable called counter. I will make it a variable type as integer, like int 32, and then assign it as a value as 0, right? Now I will take one assign activity here. Okay, so now we have a counter variable, and I want to like currently when the first time this bot will run, right? So what will happen that the counter will be having a value called 0, right? So suppose that once it is running from here, I want to increase this counter to 1. So it is like counter plus 1. So okay, so it won't. So now we have a input dialog. It will run. It will come here. Then it will count. It will increase the counter. So first time it was 0, then it will become 1. Then again it will come here. It will go. If it is not Kolkata, it will come to this decision box, and then we have to put a condition here. Okay, so this is counter. We can put it like less than 10. It means that if the counter value, like if the value in the counter variable is less than 10, then only it will go here. Otherwise it will go to false statement. In the false statement we can do any kind of operation. So for now I will add a message box here. And we have to just move it little bit here, then message box. So in the message box we can say that counter is already more than 10. Okay, or we can use the same variable, like whatever we are putting, right? This is a counter, and this is a variable, and this is a variable type as int32, like it is an integer variable. So we can put that particular in the message box as well. Counter. Now, as this is an integer variable, and sorry, I am getting some problems. Yeah, so now it is an integer variable. We have to convert this integer variable to a string. Okay, so this will come at little advanced level. I think in the coming session you will understand what is the conversion and all. But I will just type to a string here. So it is like a counter is already more than, and this is in double quote because this is a text, and then we have this variable because it is integer. We are converting it to a string variable. So it is like a counter to a string. Okay. So now we can say that whenever we are running this code, right, it will run for 10 times and then it will come out from this. So for just to run this, right, I will just decrease this counter to 2. Okay, let me run this. I will type my name. I will type any random address. So what it does, what it did, it came here, then it came to this decision box where it say it's not equal to Kolkata. Then it came to this follow decision. It checks that okay, counter is less than 2. Then it say yes. Then it will come to this input dialog. Now again, let me type. Where do we live? I will type some Jaipur. Okay, click OK. So now now what it did, it came here. It checked that okay, this is not a Kolkata. It came to the decision box where it will check that okay, counter is already like 2 because it's less than 2. It has started with 0. It means it's already like equal to 2 or okay. Then it become false, and then this message box whatever we have kept it here, right? It is showing now. The counter is already more than 2. So once we click on OK, the bot will stop. I hope it answered your question and.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
I think someone was raising their hand.
Yeah, my question is the same, that when someone have trying more than 1 or 2 times, then what will we do? So that's
Okay.
why.
Yeah. This is how like we build the bot, right? Whatever the requirement, we can put it here and.
So one question, that how much time they have to attempt. I think I need they attempt only 3 times. After that,
Mhm.
automatically that will break or out
Correct.
from. Uh,
Correct.
so I have only just increase the number, no?
Correct. You have to just increase the number here.
Okay.
So can we have multiple true condition in a flow decision?
Sorry.
Can we have multiple true condition in a flow decision?
No, no, it can't have. It can have only one, two
So
things.
for
Or one
example,
is
if we
two.
write Kolkata in small and Kolkata in capital, then what we'll do?
Okay, yeah, that you can do it. So in the condition only you have to place this information like this. So now so now coming to your question, right? You are saying that Kolkata in capital letter, in Kolkata in a small letter, okay? So when we do the development for the client or for our project, right? We always treat it like we will putting like place dot to upper, okay? So this is a string function which what it will do is that it will convert your place dot to upper, means all the characters in uppercase, okay, and you have to place it here. So it becomes your like what you say, uh, like whatever you are inputting here, right, in the small character or capital letter, it will work. Now there are two conditions, right? You can have like multiple things. So suppose that you want to put a place equal to Kolkata or place equal to Delhi. So you have to put or condition here, and you can type the same statement. So place equal to Delhi. So you can use the bracket or you can't use it. That's not an issue. But yeah, can do it.
But when the uppercase that will be mentioned on also here or not?
Yeah, you can mention it. It
Delhi?
depends, right? Yeah, you can mention it.
Oh,
So you can put two up and you can put it like in capital letter.
yeah. And is that possible to that someone have attempt and they have tried to wrong? So is that possible to store his data also?
Yeah, that is possible, but that will be like you have to put it all the details in and some kind of array or collection variable.
No, no, that is another, that is a separate database. So who have attending a wrong way, so store in other database. Is that possible? So I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
that is possible.
Okay.
Anything you can do it manually, right? Or you can do through programmatically. It is possible through UiPath as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Is
Anyone
there
else
any other
has any question? Yeah. You can raise your hand or in chat you can write.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Uh, can we do this in such a way like I want to add for so message like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai, and for other cities I don't want to display the message. Can I do this?
Sorry, you want to do this decision for Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai, and for other you don't want to do anything.
To display any message, I want to display message for these four cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai, and after that I don't want to display message for any city.
Yeah, you can do it, right? You can do the same here, like you can put all the decision here. So it's like Delhi, and let me do for you. So Delhi, you can put Chennai, right? And just put three places, right? Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, and click on it. Now you are saying that okay, so if someone enters Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, it should show the message box, and if there is anything you don't need to show, right? So you can just delete this false statement from here. It means that what it will do, it will come from here, come from here, come to here, it will come to here. It will show the message box. If it's true, if it's false, it will not do anything, and it will just stop the box. I can tell it. So let me type my every type place has button. Click on OK, right? It will not show any message box and it will just stop. If I do the same thing for Delhi, it will show the message box. Look at my name. Now we have added in this flow decision, right? Dot to even if we are entering our Kolkata in lowercase, it will work. So you can see the method is totally.
Thank you.
Any other question?
We have a huge uppercase, but the message have shown in a lowercase. Why?
Yeah, because we have whatever the data, right? We entered, correct, from the input dialog. It stored in that particular case, correct? We didn't convert it that particular case. We have just converted to verify that the data is correct or not. So we have just put it this in condition. We have not converted the value here. So it's a still in lowercase, but we are checking with the uppercase, so that is the reason we are converting it to dot to upper. But it is confined till here. It is not like replacing the value in this variable.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you want to show the particular message in a uppercase, you have to convert it here as well. You have to put a dot upper here. Then when you run it, it will show in the uppercase. Let me run. So my name. I put Delhi in uppercase. Then you can see it is showing in uppercase because we have converted that particular variable. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other question? If no question, then I will proceed for the next topic. And just like for this for information, right? In a particular flow chart, you can use sequence as well. In the sequence, you can use flow chart as well. So I will just read sequence, right? So if you want to, this is a flow chart, and you have a set of a particular activity, you can put it in sequence. So you can simply indicate the sequence here, and you can whatever the activity you want to put, you can put it here. Same way in the sequence, you can use flow chart here. So in the sequence, you can use flowchart as well. Okay. So this was just for information purpose. Now, as in the this one, right, types of workflow, I told you that we have 3 types of workflow which we commonly use in UiPath Studio while the development, right? So we have sequence, flowchart, which we already covered. A state machine I am going to cover. I will just give you a high level, like what is a state machine, because it is a little advanced level, and I don't want to confuse all people, right? Because you are fresher kind of in UiPath Studio. So I will just go to explain a state machine. What is a state? So in flowchart, you have seen, right, that you have like you can indicate this particular, like you can connect this activity here, like wherever you want, right? In a state machine, we have finite number of connection. Okay, so we will be having a states, okay, in a state machine. So you can see it looks like a flowchart only, but it will be having a states. So in this screenshot, you can see we have a init state here. We have init state here, then we have a particular state, and then we have a final state here. Okay, I will show you what is happening here in the hands-on. And for the particular state machine, right? So when you work on UiPath, right? So you will always hear the term called RE framework. Okay, so RE framework is you can see here, this is RE framework. So RE framework is a template provided by UiPath, and that is based on this state machine. So whatever the state machine you are seeing here, right? Yeah. So this particular state machine, so this particular RE framework is based on this state machine. Okay. So state machine having different component as well. So we have one state and we have one final state. So in the state, what happens that we will be having a particular entry point. We have a exit point here. Okay, and then we will be having transition. But in final state, we will be having only entry point. There will be no exit point from. Okay. So in one project, you can have multiple final state as well. You can have multiple state as well. So let me go to your Path Studio. I have already this project built. I will open that. So whatever the screenshot I was showing, it is the same. So in the it's same goes here. Like you have to click on design, you have to click on new, you have to click on a state machine. So it will create a new state machine. It will create like this, and there will be a starting point, and this will be blank space workflow. So we can let's type a state here. So you can see we have a state machine, we have final state, we have a state. So this is the state I will be calling. So I am not going to in details because it will take much time, and it will like it is at advanced level, right? So I don't want to confuse you people. So this is a state machine where I have taken one initial state. So in this state, I have assigned a variable. So this is a random number. So this is a variable random number. This is integer. And this is an entry point. Okay. So after this state, you can define where this particular like the next activity should be called, right? So this is called transition here. So in the transition, you have to declare some condition here. But in this case, I just want to like move from this state to this state. I have not defined any condition here. Okay. Then we have guest number. So I am opening it. So there is an input dialog where you have to enter some values between 1 and 100, and then there will be three decisions here. So this is a kind of game. I will give you a high level. This is a game where it will ask for you to enter like a value between 1 and 100. You have to enter some value here, and then if it is correctly matches with that particular random number, it will show you that okay, you won, you guessed the number correctly. Otherwise, it will keep running in the loop. Okay. So this is the guess numbers. Now we have three options. One is that you have whatever the input you have done, it is a correct case. Whatever you have input it that it's greater than whatever the number it has defined, and there will be some option you have inputted some smaller number, it will ask for to try bigger. Okay. And then in the correct case, it will come to final state where it will show the message box that okay, congratulations, you get the correct number. Okay. So let me run this workflow. Okay, so it is saying that okay, add a number between 1 and 100. Okay, so it means it is in this state. It is asking for the number. Now I will type 40. So 40 means like it will come to this state, guess number. Okay, and it will say that okay, the guess is too big. You can see this transition, right? The try bigger. It came to this state, and again it is going to this particular activity itself. Okay, and it is saying that okay, the whatever you have input, it is too big. Please try a smaller. Okay, so let me type 30 here. So still it is saying that it is too big. Okay, so let me type 20 here. It is still saying too big. Now it is saying that it is too small, right? Now I will try with 15. Okay, so your guess is too big. So it's the number is between 10 to 15. Okay, so now let me try 12. It's still too big. Okay, so now let me try 11. So now 11 is the correct number, okay, which the bot has identified. So the initial number was 11 and you have identified correctly. So it came to final state to showing this message that okay, congratulations, you guessed correctly. The number was 11. And click on OK. So it will stop the bot. So this is how a state machine works. It works on transition. So you have to define some transition. Then on the basis of that transition, it will move from one state to another, or it can move from the self on the self state to self. Any question on this state machine?
Yes, how we can add try smaller and try bigger?
This is a game. Okay, so this is like I have just added a massive box. Okay, so here this is input dialog where it says that add a number of 1 and 100. Then we have this transition correct case. Okay, not correct case. Wait, go to try. So in this try smaller, you can see this massive box. I have added. So your guess is too big. Try a smaller number. Right? This is just a text which you will show in the message, and this is the condition. Though the initial guess means the number bot has identified initially, and 1 second. So initial number is yeah. So initial guess is the input we are providing, right? So initial number is the input we are providing, and random number is the bot has identified. So based on this condition, this message box will be solved to the user.
So this is basically like a choice station location, right?
Correct. Yep.
All right. And how many trigger transitions can you define in this state machines?
I think you can define as many as, but I'm not sure about number. I can get back to you on this.
Okay. All right, thank you.
So can we say that this try smaller and try bigger are two small activities or two small sequences? Which is coding.
It's not sequence, it's called transition here. So it's not truly a sequence.
So this will come only in state machines.
Yeah, this will come only in the state machine.
So transitions will not have any activities, right? We need to define it in the states itself.
Correct. So in this transition, right? So suppose that we already have two transitions here, right? Now I want to define one more transition where it says that if the value, whatever the input we are giving, if the value is 0, it should go to directly final state. Or maybe you can say that it should go to initial state, right? It means that you are asking initial state means where bot is identifying a number, okay? So I will just show you. So this is the transition, new transition created. Now you have to provide a condition here. So the condition can be, let me copy from here. So in the try big, what we are saying that, okay, initial guess is less than random number, right? So in the T2, like the new transition, we will give initial guess equal to 0. It means if objective. Okay, random equal to 0. I think I didn't type it correctly. So now random number is equal to 0. Okay. So whenever you type a random number, it will go to this particular state, and again it will generate a new random number. Okay. To show this random number, I just want to show it to you, like what the number it is choosing. I will add a message box here. Random number. So we'll put the random number variable, and as it is in integer, we will be converting it to dot to a string. Okay, so I will put a random number to a string. Now let's run this bot. Now I put it in one message box, right? Now it will show that, okay, so the bot has selected a number as 14. I will click on OK. Now if I type 15, right, or maybe 16, so it will say that number is too big. Your guess is too big, try a smaller number, right? So now if I type 12, then it will show that, okay, the number is a smaller, try a bigger number. Is too small, try a bigger number. And we have created a new transition where we had stated, right, that, okay, the if number is 0, then it should again go to this initial state. So I will put a 0 here, click on OK. Then you can see it went to, it didn't went, let check. Okay, okay, it will not work. I will, as there are two conditions, right? Now transitions also work in a order. Okay, so now like first it will check with this condition it is correct guess or not, then it will check for try smaller, then it will check for try bigger, then it will come to T2 which we have declared, right? So now if, I think there is no option to move it here. Yeah, there is no option to move it here. So what we have to put all the negative scenario in these transitions as well. So here I have put a random number equal to 0. The same I have to put in these transitions as well. Okay. So currently in this condition it says that, okay, initial guess is greater than random number, and we'll put one more condition is random number should not be equal to 0. Okay. So this is the note sign. So I will putting random number not equal to 0, and same I will do here. And random number is not equal to 0. Okay, and in correct case I will not do anything because it's already correct number. Now let me try. Okay, so now it's selected random number as 95. If I put 80, it will say that okay, it's a too smaller, too small, try a bigger number. If I put 0, it will go to init state. It's still not going. There is, let me check it. There is here. And less than equal to 0 and random number. Not sure it should have worked it. Smaller than random is random number and random number not equal to 0. Let me create one more state. Random number is equal to 10. I think there is some error in my giving some.
Maybe the variable is not defined for the entire sequence.
No, I think it's already defined in the statement. Otherwise, by default, it will be 0 because it's an integer variable. Let me put 0 here. No, it's not going. Okay. I think after message it is coming. No, it's not going here. I will just check this workflow and I will say like whatever the Apurva will be sending, right? It will be having that particular data workflow. Okay, but yeah, you can define as many as transition you want and you can put the condition. But always ensure that you whatever the
Can I
transition
say
you are.
something?
Yeah.
I think in transaction, if you change the random number equal to 0 to initial case equal to 0, I think it will work.
Oh, okay. Did I use random? Oh, yeah, thank you very much. I was using the wrong variable. Right, I have changed the variable now. Let's try. Okay, it identified 98. Let me type 0. Yeah, see now it's working. So yeah, I was using a wrong variable here. That's the reason it was not working. Thank you very much, right? So and now you can see it's identified as a random number is 1. Let it type 12. Okay, so 12 means it will be in the same state. It will say that okay, your guess is too big, try a smaller number. Now even if I type 2, it will show the same message that okay, try a smaller number. Now if I put 0, it will go to init state and it will generate a new number for this. Now it identified as 2. So this is how the transition works. Any question here?
Can you give an example of a scenario where the state machine is used and flowchart is not? Because this can be done with flowchart as well.
Yeah. So okay. So see, in a state machine, right? You have so many transitions, right? So let's take an example of RE framework only. So I think you will go to this level at like when you are advancing, like learning advanced, right? Advanced level of UiPath, you will be going to that. But in RE framework, when you take it, so it will be very easier to identify that which transition you have to go. Okay, so now you are in initial state and you want to go to this particular state, you have defined a transition, it will go here. In the decision box, like in the flowchart also you can do the same thing, but like in for a better readability and better transition, we use a state machine.
Okay.
But it was a nice question. Any other query? I think we are
What is
already
the
at
full
9:20.
form? RE framework? It is any full form?
Yeah, it's a, I think it's a robotic enterprises framework.
Yeah, that's right.
If no question, then I will move to our quiz.
So guys, if you have any question, please ask. Otherwise, we will go for the quiz section. Yeah. Anyone has any other question? No, I think everyone has understood it. So I think Santan, you can start.
I
So
think you can scan this QR
yeah,
code
also I
and
will share the URL. So please, guys, please use this URL to go to the mentee.com and use this code in the quiz page. If you guys can open the, please give your thumbs up so that we know you have reached the Mentimeter page. Okay, 2 people have thumbs up. If anyone having any issue accessing the URL, please let us know. So only 28 people have joined. 20, 29. Everyone, please participate in this quiz. Two. Santan, I think you can start. It's 34. Okay. If it crossed 35, then please start. Let's wait for 1 more minute. Yeah, I think you can start. Yeah, 33 people has already joined. Yeah, so first question is coming up. So please give your answer as quick as possible. Which is not a component of UiPath.
I think everyone
Oh
has
wow, all are correct. Very good.
Would I want to make this?
Let's see who is leading. Okay, Heartstrom and Umbrella are leading. Okay, let's go to the second one. Can you use a sequence inside a flowchart? Okay, everyone is voted. Okay, most of them are right. Let's see with the winner. Like not a winner, the leaders. Uh, okay, it's Umbrella and Ted. Okay. No, but why it is not showing the correct name? I don't know. I think everyone used some different names.
Okay. I think it will take by default, is it?
But how do we know that who is
No,
this?
so the thing is, the people should put their name
Yeah,
during joining this quiz. So otherwise, we will not be okay.
yeah. How we will identify?
But Dave, you are there from the very beginning session, so you should have put your name. Okay. Oh, it didn't ask you the name. Okay, okay, no problem. Please carry on.
Didn't ask me name. Okay, there may be some error or issue. Okay, let's continue. Which is not a type of workflow.
Good, yeah. So sequence is a workflow, flowchart is a workflow, state machine is a workflow, and variable is not.
Okay, again, Umbriel is leading.
Is the purpose of the assign activity in web.
That's the purpose of the assign activity.
Yeah. So for assign activity, we assign a value in a variable.
Okay, Umbriel is still leading. Saint Elmo, you have a chance. So last question, you have to do it very fast. Which activity is used to pause the execution of a workflow for a specified amount of time?
So we have delay activity in UiPath, which is used to pause, like a pause of bot run, right, for a specified period of time. So
Oh,
we have Embryo
many
layer,
congratulations, Umbriel.
but we
But
don't
we
know.
don't know where you. Can you please
Yeah.
share your mail ID in chat, Umbriel? And many congratulations to you. You were leading from, I think, first question or second question. Acha, it's Dev Agarwal. Many congratulations.
Thank you. By the way, it didn't ask me the name, so it take the default. That's why.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it may be due to some error, maybe. Okay. Okay, I think then let's like conclude the session.
Yeah. So I just want to say one thing by seeing this quiz, right, and the participation, I can say we have smart people in this group.
Yeah, because last
Yeah.
question I think out, or last 2-3 question were
Right.
out of the syllabus, like kind of. Yeah, the answers.
So that's why I placed the question to to check. But yeah, you are all a smart people, so it's better like keep the session interactive, ask the question, and you don't need to be right question. Okay, you can ask any question. Like everyone starts from beginning, right? So you can ask any question. We will be happy to answer anything.
Yeah. So if you have any more question, you can ask now.
I have some questions.
Yeah, please.
So can you open for me for the studio, UiPath Studio?
Okay.
The home page, the first page.
Yeah. Let me. Okay, it's open.
Home. Home. When
I think this will become your home. This is a
no,
main.
before when I started the process name, that's home page.
It will look like this.
No, but at the beginning when I'm creating a process, yes, this
Okay.
page. Okay.
Okay.
When I create the process, you click on that. In this compatibility, what I choose.
You can change by default Windows.
Okay, by default I will choose Windows.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need to do anything here.
Okay. Now can you go to the design part?
Okay.
Okay. In design, click on design.
Design. Okay.
And new.
Okay.
In my software, I have this only sequence, flowchart, state machine, workflow, and global handler. The
Okay.
for and coded Windows, coded test case, these are not showing.
So it depends on which version you have downloaded. Okay. So and when you installed it, right? So if there is something missing, you can update the UiPath Studio in your system. I think update options should be here somewhere. If it is not there, right, you can simply download the latest version from orchestrator and you can install it in your system.
Okay, I have to update it for that.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And another first, when the main.xml is open, it's always main sequence is always open for me. But here is but when you started, there is no main sequence.
Okay, might be this is because of some version, but I think whenever we start a new process, right, it will always start with main. Let me show you. So I'm just getting to here. I think it takes time for me, but yeah, by default it starts with main sequence version.
Okay, it's by default.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And that will be only YAML which will be created by default.
It's main.yaml, right?
Right.
It's always starting from main, right? Every time, like
correct.
Means main, like main class in Java. That's like
not related to Java, but here you can it's always a main.yaml. But in UiPath you got the flexibility to change the YAML as well at a starting point. You can make any other YAML as main.
Okay. I can start anywhere and from anywhere.
Correct. You have that flexibility here.
Okay. Thank you.
So one reminder, everyone. So tomorrow we have our next session on variables, arguments, and import. So I request you all to join tomorrow session also. So link is in the chat to registration. If you have not registered, please register and please join tomorrow session. So I think we are already running behind the time. So let's conclude today's session. So first of all, thank you so much, Santan, you for this great session. I think everyone learned many things and enjoyed this session. So if anyone has any further issue, we can obviously take that in next session also. And also I'd like to thank all the participants for attending this session. So I think, yeah, let's meet tomorrow again. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the Santan and Vivekananda, can you share your LinkedIn?
Okay, I will share. Yeah. Right now the
Apurva,
URL is not handy, but yeah, I will share. Yeah.
Apurva, hello.
Hi, Dibakar. Hi.
I just asked one thing that one of my junior, I think 2 or 3%
Mhm.
have just come and asked me to join. Is that possible to join your next class and get the certificate?
Yeah, sure, sure. Most
Okay.
welcome. So you need to get the certification from academy.uipath.com. So from tomorrow, we'll be just guiding you how to just get your certificates. Okay. So
Okay.
anyway, in the middle of the session, you can just join. Okay. So only 3 sessions has been completed till now.
Okay. Okay. No, no. I also tell him that there is a recorded version. They are
Yeah.
agree. So that's why I'm asking you. Is that got any certificate or not? So that's why.
No. So no problems. They'll get the certifications as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Most welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's meet tomorrow.